All right, thanks, Andrew. How about chronic back pain, headaches, leg pain, all of that you might be dealing with and you have no idea why? Well, Dr. Ellen Rame of Southeastern Spine is right here with us to give us some information on what we might be able to do to combat that and kind of get rid of it. Because a lot of people, like we always talk about, they deal with these pains and they don't even realize that they've done it for years.
Exactly.
They just learn to live with it.
Yep, it's so true. I mean, it starts gradually and then, it slowly worsens and then, people ignore, and then it gets to a point where they realize they've stopped doing things in their life that they enjoy doing. They've stopped certain activities, and before you know it, their overall quality of life
is different.
Has decreased. Yeah.
Well, over at the Southeastern Spine Institute, Dr. Ellen is over there ready to answer any of your questions. But what we've been doing is we've been doing the Ask Dr. Ellen. So I've got a question here from one of our viewers, and you can always submit these questions on our website at abcnews4.com. All you have to do is look for the Dr. Ellen to ask the question. So here we go. What is the best treatment for a protruding disc that is causing unbearable sciatic pain? This is from one of our viewers. So I guess maybe the first question would be for those folks out there that don't know what we're talking about. What is a sciatic nerve and what could the issue be there?
Okay, so the sciatic nerve is made up of some of the it's from nerves that come from the back.
Okay.
Essentially.
Okay.
It's a nerve that runs down the leg.
Okay.
And so a lot of people say it's my sciatic nerve, but what they really mean is I'm having pain that's going down my leg. Okay.
So does it start in the back and then moves kind of down?
More than likely, it's starting in the back.
Okay.
Usually, most, especially younger people, end up having problems with the discs. Usually this bottom disc here, which is between lumbar vertebra number 5 and the sacrum, so L5, S1 disc, and L4, L5 disc. And what happens is that you've always heard of people talking about disc bulging or and the reason
or
that
slipped disc, is that kind of the same thing?
Exactly, exactly. It's all similar. It can come from many different causes. It can come from an injury or a trauma, or just over time, your disc can start to degenerate. And also smoking, Laura, is very bad for the disc. Yes, it speeds up the degeneration process. So what happens is, why the discs are a problem when they start to bulge or break down is a lot of times they bulge out and they hit these nerve roots. Right here and right here. And also down here. And these are nerve roots that all feed the leg. Nerves are very, very sensitive. So even if you just look at them wrong or breathe on them wrong, they're gonna
It's kind of like hitting your funny bone.
Exactly. That's a different nerve, but nerve type pain. So it shoots down the leg. So what happens is if this disc bulges out and sits on this nerve root, it can be exquisitely painful. Definitely cause people to decrease activities and whatnot. Sometimes people go in and have surgeries where we will take out a part of the disc that's actually sitting on the nerve and sort of decompress the area. Basically make more room for the nerve as it exits.
Okay, and with what you're talking about right now, that same viewer also added, they had a second part to that question. So I guess their issue is they're having a sciatic nerve problem after their surgical treatment. So what should they do to get that to really calm down? I mean, maybe medication is not working for this individual, and it's Kristen from Mount Pleasant. So.
Okay, well, Kristen, one other thing, after surgery, sometimes pain can persist. And so I would, ask her if she were coming to see me, and I do recommend that she come see someone because odds are there are things that we can do for this pain. Was this the same pain that you were having before surgery? Were you better after surgery and now the pain has recurred? It could be due to scar tissue from where the surgery was. It could be that there could be some hardware issues. So we need to make sure that that surgical treatment, the integrity of that is still good, and we could do that with films or MRIs.
So it would be a good idea to go visit, take a visit to where you are though, because I mean, this is probably something you don't want just to go untreated.
Exactly. And one thing that really can help this type of pain are epidurals, and specialized nerve injections where we put steroid and a local anesthetic around these nerves or in the epidural space that can really decrease the inflammation and calm the nerves down.
Right.
And sometimes it takes a series of treatments. Another option that we have available at Southeastern Spine Institute, especially for someone, this is the classic case where this is a great treatment, someone after surgery with leg pain that's persisting, are spinal cord stimulators. And that's something we can get into on another episode as well, more about how those work and who those are an option for.
Well, maybe you need to submit that question about spinal, what were they called? Spinal cord
Stimulators.
Stimulators,
yes.
Okay. Well, maybe you all need to submit that question. And if you have a question just like Kristen did, Kristen, we really appreciate your question, but if you need to ask something, why not do it on our website, abcnews4.com? All you have to do is find that tab for Dr. Ellen. You can also find Dr. Ellen right there on your screen at Dr. Ellen Rame on Twitter. She would love to hear from you, and then we'll answer your question on the air. Dr. Ellen, always a pleasure to have you here. And then we can find you at which Southeastern Spine, the one on Bowman?
Both.
Okay.
Well, Chuck Dolly, and there's also an office that we work in on Bowman Road as well.
Okay.
But yep, if you go to the website, Google Southeastern Spine Institute, you can find us, and we'd be more than happy to see you and help you with any pain problems that you're having.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Ellen. Always a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
All right, well, Wellness Wednesday continues next with Rhett Women's Center Weight Loss Management for those ladies that might have fallen off the wagon after that New Year's resolution. I'm not saying it was you, but maybe it was. Stay with us.